ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिधि नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषः शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
बाबा
श्रीवासादि
आपको 1 बजे तक मोबाइल देखा है। कौन बोल
हरे
रहा है?
कृष्णा हरे
मतलब
कृष्ण कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we are discussing from chapter 2, text 70. Apurmanam achala pratishtham समुद्रमापा प्रविशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत् कामायं प्रविशन्ति सर्वे स शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी. A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires. So we already discussed yesterday the meaning of this verse. A person who is filled with Krishna consciousness, whose heart is very deep in remembrance of Krishna, in service to Krishna, in chanting, remembering, and glorifying and serving Krishna. So in all these aspects, a person whose heart is completely filled, so his consciousness, his existence, his spiritual existence becomes achala pratishtham. It cannot be shaken, even if there are unlimited material desires may enter into the heart of such a person, still he remains undisturbed. Just like Krishna is giving example of an ocean, because of being very deeply filled with a vast amount of water. So although thousands of rivers constantly enter into the ocean, so the ocean remains steady. So similarly, a person who is studying Krishna consciousness, he attains a peace, but a person who desires to fulfill his material desires, who is not only kami, is a person who has not only calm material desires, but who is kami, kami. Kama kami means one who desires to fulfill his material desires. So such a person can never attain to everlasting peace. So although the vast ocean is always filled with water, it is always, especially during the rainy season, being filled with much more water. But the ocean remains the same, steady. It is not agitated, nor does it cross beyond the limit of its brink. Uh, so this is our practical experience, especially in Mumbai. We see in Mumbai a lot of rain, rainy season. There is a lot of rain, but still, if you go to any of the beach, you'll find the ocean never crosses its limit. It always remains steady. So that is also true of a person fixed in Krishna consciousness. As long as one has the material body, um, please hear it very attentively. It's not that in order to become fully Krishna conscious or fixed up in Krishna consciousness, we must become free from all material desires. I mean, yes, of course, one has to become free from all material desires, but it is not that material desires may not come within the mind. Material desires may appear or may come or may enter into the mind of a Krishna conscious person also, but because he is firmly fixed, he immediately rejects it. Because as long as one has the material body, the demands of the body for sense gratification will continue. Just like we have senses, we have tongue. The demand for the tongue will continue. But a Krishna conscious person knows what to eat, what not to eat, and how to eat, and how not to eat. Uh, so Krishna conscious person eats for the maintenance of the body, not for the purpose of enjoying the tongue and the pleasure of the tongue. Similarly, not only the tongue, a fully Krishna conscious person can engage in sense gratification only for the purpose of maintenance of the material body, only for the purpose of fulfilling the needs of material existence, not otherwise, not even a little bit extra. Uh, so, tongue, so much so that in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, dharma viruddha kamasmi. A devotee who is fully Krishna conscious and who may use sex life also for procreation of children. So that is also accepted by Krishna, but only for procreation of children. If a householder uses his sex life, engages in sex, so that is also considered to be a kind of sacrifice. Sacrifice means a method of worshipping Krishna. Krishna accepts that also a method of worshipping him if it is done properly according to Vedic injunctions, not for the purpose of sense gratification. But on the other hand, those who use any of their senses for the purpose of their own pleasure, uh, uh, they uh, they only incur sinful reaction. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita 13th verse, 3rd chapter. Uh, Lord Krishna says, "Ye bhungte atma karanat, te pachanti atma karanat." Such persons are is known as istena eva hi, ye pachanti atma karanat. Atma karan. The 3.13 Lord Krishna says this. Yajnasishtasina santo muchyante sarvakil vishay. Vunjate te to agham papa. Papa means sinful person. Vunjate te to agham papa. Ye pachanti atma karanat. Atma karanat means for the purpose of sense enjoyment. For his own sense enjoyment, if somebody enjoys the senses, so that is a grievous sin, agham papa, he is a sinner. But one who enjoys the senses, not for the purpose of his personal sense enjoyment, but for the purpose of serving Krishna, so that is yajna. Yajna sistasana santo muchyante sarvakil vishay. On the other hand, yajna sistasana santo muchyante sarvakil vishay. And the same senses, a Krishna conscious person also engages in sense activities or sense gratification. Gratification means supplying the objects of the senses to the senses. So, fully Krishna conscious person may also supply the objects of the senses to the senses, but if it is done for the purpose of as a sacrifice for the purpose of pleasing the Supreme Lord, then it is known as yajna, uh, or it is known as devotion service, just like this tongue. So we eat. So eating is also sense gratification, but we offer food stuffs, which is prescribed by Krishna with very loving attitude, and then uh, accepting remnants of Krishna as Mahaprasada. So that is called as yajna, and that frees one from all sinful action. Just imagine, this is a wonderful science. The same activity may become the cause of one's entanglement in this material existence if it is done in a certain manner with a certain attitude, and the same activity if it is done in a certain different manner with different consciousness, it can liberate one. Uh, so it's very simple. No? The same sense gratification, same attachment. So if it is for the purpose of sense gratification, it entangles the living entities. But if it is for the purpose of serving Krishna, loving, and performing devotional service to Krishna, then it is liberating. Uh, this is also mentioned in Sangha Prasanga Majaram Pasam Atmano Kavyo Vidu Saeva sadhushu krita mokshadwaram apavritam. So that is the beauty of this Krishna consciousness movement. So one can engage each of his senses in the service of the Supreme Lord. So the devotee, however, is not disturbed by such desires because of his fullness. He is already full. A Krishna conscious man is not in need of anything because the Lord fulfills all his material necessities. As far as the necessities or need of a Krishna conscious person is concerned, and because he has dedicated himself completely for the service of Krishna and for the mission of the Supreme Lord, so Krishna personally takes care of such a person's material necessities. So fully Krishna conscious person who is fully dedicated, he doesn't require to bother himself with such material activities for the maintenance of his personal self because he has surrendered his personal self in Krishna consciousness for serving the Supreme Lord. That's why Krishna personally takes care of him. Therefore, he is like the ocean, always full in himself. Desires may come to him like the waters of the rivers that flow into the ocean, but he is steady in his activities. So desires may come. Desires, uh, entrance of the desires are the function of mind.